Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to see class 10 science chapter 7, how do organisms reproduce. In this we are going to see modes of asexual reproduction. So today we'll be learning about 6 modes of asexual reproduction used by single organisms, and we are going to study all the characteristics of all this asexual reproduction. Yeah, let's start with the topic. So what is asexual reproduction, children? See, asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction in which a single parent organism produces new individual without the involvement of gametes. What is this gamete? Nothing but the sex cells. Okay. The offspring produced are genetically identical to the parent and they are called as clones. So this method is common in simple organisms because it is fast and it requires less energy and also allows rapid multiplication. So here, so 6 modes of asexual reproduction they have given. So in that the first one is a fission, next fragmentation, regeneration, budding, vegetative propagation, spore formation. So in the next we are going to see each thing in detail. Yes, let's start children. Fission. Fission, what is fission? Splitting into daughter cells. So a single cell is splitting into two daughter cells. So what happens in fission? What is fission first? Fission is a process in which a unicellular organism, always a unicellular organism, divides into two or more daughter cells. So it is the most common method of reproduction in single celled organisms. In this again we have two types. One is the binary fission and another one is the multiple fission. Let's talk about the binary fission. In binary fission what happens? One parent cell divides into two daughter cells, that is two equal daughter cells. So in this process what happens? The nucleus first divides, then the cytoplasm divides, then two individual are formed. Example we can tell amoeba, paramecium, yeah, leishmania, all these are some example. When we talk about amoeba, so division can occur in any plane because it has no definite shape, right? But in leishmania, what happens? See, leishmania has a drip-like flagellum. So division occurs in a definite pattern. And what is its importance? It is a fast reproduction and also it helps organisms to increase their population quickly. Then what is multiple fission, children? See, in multiple fission, one parent cell divides into many daughter cells simultaneously. So what happens in this? The nucleus divides repeatedly. Then cytoplasm surrounds each nucleus. Many daughter cells are released. Can you able to see in this picture? Yes. So many things are formed. Then only cytoplasm surrounds each nucleus and many daughter cells are released. Examples we can say plasmodium. Plasmodium is nothing but malarial parasite. And what is the importance of this one? See, it produces a large number of offspring at one time. At a single time, large number of offsprings are produced. And it is helping the parasite to spread rapidly. And what is the main difference between this binary fission and multiple fission? See, when we take this binary fission, two daughter cells are produced. Example is amoeba and it's a very simple division. But what happens in multiple fission? It produces many daughter cells. Example we can say plasmodium and it is a repeated nuclear division. Let's see the next one. Next one is the fragmentation, that is breaking into pieces. So what is happening here? What is the definition for this fragmentation? See, fragmentation is a process in which the body of an organism breaks into fragments. So the body is breaking into fragments and each fragment develops into a complete organism. Yes. So example, we can say Spirogyra is a green algae. So what is the process in this? What happens here? Mature filament breaks into pieces and each piece grows independently. And what happens? New Spirogyra filaments are formed. How it works, children? See, why it is working in Spirogyra? See, body of the Spirogyra is so simple and no specialized tissues are there. So every fragment can grow independently. What is its importance? See, it allows rapid multiplication in aquatic environments. And why complex organisms cannot reproduce by fragmentation, children? Yes. Why? Because see, complex organisms. Let us take us complex organisms. We have tissues, organs, and organ system. So each part has a specific function. Therefore, what happens? A body fragment cannot normally develop into a complete organism. That is why. Next, let's see the regeneration. So, a single piece, it becomes a whole organism. So, what is the definition for this one? So, regeneration is the ability of an organism. What is that? Is the ability of an organism to regrow lost body parts. Immediately, what comes to your brain? Yes, yeah, lizard, correct. So, what happens if the tail is lost in lizard also? It regenerates. It is not reproducing children. Reproduction is different. Regeneration is different. It is regenerating its tail. So what happens? So in some organisms, they form a complete new individual from a body fragment. Examples like a planaria and a hydra. So what is the process of regeneration, children? So first what happens? Cell division occurs. So the specialized cells, they divide rapidly. Then formation of the cell mass occurs. A mass of new cell is produced. And then the cell differentiation occurs. What is cell differentiation? These cells, they become different tissues and organs. And formation of new organism. A complete organism is developed. So example, yeah, I have given here planaria. So when planaria is cut into several pieces, you can able to see the cut also here in planaria. What happens here? So each piece regenerates. What happens? Each piece regenerates and every piece develop into a complete planaria. You can see one organism has been cut into three and each piece is developing into a three individual organism. So this shows a very remarkable regenerative ability. So regeneration is not the same as reproduction, children. I told you before, because regeneration is mainly a repair mechanism and occurs after the injury. But reproduction is a natural method of producing offsprings. For this, I told you an example. So if a lizard it loses its tail and regrows it, this is regeneration and it is not reproduction. So next we are going to see budding. For budding, example is a hydra. So what happens in budding? See, budding is the process in which a small outgrowth called a bud. You can able to see here in the diagram, a bud is formed, right? Yeah, a small outgrowth called a bud develops on the parent body. You can able to see it. And later separates to become a new individual. Examples are hydra and yeast. So what are the stages of budding in hydra? So what is that process? See, in the first step, what happens? Cells divide repeatedly at one location. So repeatedly, it is dividing at one location. A bud develops on the body wall. You can able to see a small bud has been developed. Can you see, children, in the lower part of the here? Can you able to see? So a bud has been developed here, and then what happens? The bud grows. So you can able to see the growth of the bud and develops tentacles. Can you see here small tentacles here? It becomes mature and the bud detaches and lives independently. And what is the advantage of this budding, children? See, it is a quick reproduction, right? Do you agree? Yeah. And parent remains alive. So many offsprings can be produced. And what is the difference between this budding and regeneration? See, budding is planned reproductive process. But regeneration is nothing but response to injury. Budding, what happens? Bud develops naturally, but in regeneration, body parts regrows after damage. Example for budding is hydra and yeast. Example for regeneration is planaria. Next, we are going to see the vegetative propagation. So, what is vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation is a form of asexual reproduction in plants. So, where new plants they arise from the vegetative parts, such as we can say from the parts like roots, stems, or leaves. Examples: when you take the stem, examples are potato, sugarcane, ginger, and for leaf it is bryophyllum. You can able to see the bryophyllum leaf in the slide, right? And then root, sweet potato, and dahlia. So bryophyllum, you can able to see this bryophyllum leaf, right? So what happens? You can able to see the small tiny buds, yes, are present along the leaf margins. So when the leaves fall on moist soil, what happens? Buds develops roots and shoots, and new plants are formed. Artificial methods. So when we take this artificial methods, we already have studied in our lower classes like layering, grafting, yes, so many processes. So what is layering, children? A branch is bent. What happens? We are just from a plant, we are taking the we are bending the branch and covering it with the soil until roots develop. Okay. So example, we can say jasmine. Grafting is nothing but parts of two plants are joined together. Examples like a mango, rose, in order to get a different or a better variety of a mango and rose. And what is the advantage of this vegetative propagation? First one is faster growth. So plants, flowers, and fruits will be bared earlier. And then it produces seedless plants also. Examples like banana, orange. Yeah, we have no seedless ones. And it maintains the desired characteristics. So offsprings are genetically identical to the parent. And also useful in agriculture. Yes, large number of plants can be produced quickly, right? So let's move on to the next one. Next, we are going to see the spore formation. Can we say it is like a tiny survival capsules? So what is this spore formation? See, spore formation is a method of reproduction. Yeah, it is also a method of reproduction in which organisms produce tiny reproductive structures called spores. So the tiny reproductive structures we called as the spores. So here I have given you the example rhizobus. Rhizobus is nothing but a bread mold. Let's see the structure of rhizobus. So this is the structure of the rhizobus. Can you able to see this hypha? So this hyphae or hypha, they are thread-like structures that absorb the nutrients. What are they? They are thread-like structures that absorb the nutrients. Can you able to see the sporangium? This is a sporangium. They are nothing but round structure that produces the spores. And spores, can you see here? So these are tiny reproductive cells. What are these? These are tiny reproductive cells. And what is the process of this spore formation, children? How it is? See, spores are produced inside the sporangium. Do you agree? Then what happens? This each spore, it develops a thick protective wall. So it is safe now. It is having a thick protective wall, and the sporangium, it burst opens when it becomes when it burst opens when it is mature. When it is mature, it bursts opens, and the spores are dispersed by air because of its lightweight, right? So it is moving in the air. On reaching a moist surface, what happens? These spores germinate into new organism. What is the advantage of this spores, children? See, it is produced in a very large numbers and easily dispersed by wind. And they survive unfavorable conditions and also help rapid multiplication. Next, we are going to see the memory tips and easy ways to remember. So let's see the mnemonics for all these six modes of asexual reproduction. FFRBBS. So FF for nothing but our fission, fragmentation. R is regeneration. B is budding, and then vegetative, propagation, and spores. Think just I have this one. Yeah, fungi find real big veggie snacks. Can you relate it, children? Fungi find real big veggie snacks. So examples at a glance. Let us see the examples. Fission examples we can give amoeba, plasmodium for the multiple fission, yes, and spirogyra for fragments we can say, and planaria regeneration process occurs there. Hydra budding occurs. In bryophyllum we can see the vegetative propagation. In rhizobus spore formation. Binary West multiple fission. So binary means bi means two, right? So two halves like amoeba. Multiple means many. So plasmodium split into many at once. Just count the products, right? And regeneration is not reproduction. Yes. So reproduction is the organism's normal way to make offspring. But regeneration is like an emergency response to injury. So don't confuse them. So here I have given you some frequently asked board exam questions. Yes. So go through all these questions. Anyway, I'll be giving you the separate video for these questions. Yes. This marks and also in which year it has appeared. Everything I have mentioned here. Yes. Let's skip to the next one. So we have come to the end part as children of this topic. So what we saw about different modes of reproduction, how that organism body is, and what is this characteristics we saw, right? Let's see some examples. For binary fission, example is amoeba and leishmania. Multiple fission is plasmodium. For fragmentation, spirogyra. Regeneration is planaria and hydra. Budding is hydra yeast. And vegetative propagation is bryophyllum. Potato, yeah, some more, many more are there. Still, spore formation, rhizobus. Yes, so we have reached our end part of this topic. So we'll see you in the next part, children. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, watch the video fully. Thank you.